Hi, this is Asim.
This is Sujoy.
This is Amrita.
And you're listening to Khandaan, a Bollywood podcast about the three main Khans of the Hindi film industry.
Amir,
Salman,
And Shara.
Hi, you're listening to Khandaan, a Bollywood podcast regular feed. Thank you so much for your support over the years. We now have a Patreon channel with bonus content and exclusive merch for those of you who would like to support us. Every dollar goes towards creating more and better content. Visit us at patreon.com/Khandaan podcast.
Hi and welcome to a new episode of Khandaan Podcast. My name is Asim Bernie and I'm joined with my lovely co-host Amrita and Sujoy. Hey Amrita, hey Sujoy.
Hello.
Hello.
Should we, every sentence that we say, should we end it with, hey?
In the national interest of the country.
I am like just obsessed with SP Bala, yaar. Like his voice is like now again in my head, and I'm like, why is not everything SP Bala? Like, why does not every song being sung with SP Bala? Oh my god, I love this man's voice, and it just
And also like SPB's voice on Salman Khan. It's
just a match made in heaven. Yeah.
So
that's like Udit Narayan and Amir Khan, you know. Oh.
Yeah. So we are talking about Patthar Ke Phool. We've spoken about it a few times. We had a few requests that, we need to go back to our original concept of talking about Khan movies and older movies. And I've been trying to get Patthar Ke Phool on the Khandaan, slate for a while. And I have failed for 5 years.
It keeps losing the popular choice vote.
Yeah.
We keep putting it on the vote and people don't vote for it, so we vetoed it this time.
Exactly. We Pakistan armied it, basically.
You can make that joke, Asim, not me.
So I'm just saying, people might think, like this guy only makes fun of India. Like I have some jokes for Pakistan too. So this came out in 1991. I think this is Salman's like third or fourth release. They get shot at weird times and then they just got released whenever. The summary is a young police officer and the daughter of a gangster fall in love at first sight. That's not true. It's not love at first sight. It was directed by Anand Balani and written by Salim Khan. And it stars Salman Khan and Raveena Tandon. मेरी तो joy contain नहीं हो रही. We're finally talking about this movie. So I want to calm the hell down. Amrita, what do you remember of Patthar Ke Phool and how did it feel revisiting?
I actually didn't remember the movie at all, and I didn't remember that this was Raveena's debut feature. That is not what I remember at all. But I remember the songs. I remember especially the first two songs. I just remember them like it was yesterday.
Yeah.
I knew the lyrics.
I knew the lyrics. All of them. It was insane.
Yeah.
You know Bombay than most Bombayers.
I knew the dance steps. I remembered the costume changes. All of that stuff. I just remembered all of it, and it's expressions on Raveena's face. I remember that level of detail. And also what a joy it was to just watch this film. And we'll talk about what I felt about the film in general, but can I just say that there's nothing like a 90s heroine? That entire generation of women who debuted in that particular decade. Rani, Kajol, Preeti, Raveena, all of them, they're just so special. This is Raveena's first film, and you can see that she's raw, but my God, she's a star. you can't keep your eyes off her from the very second that she comes on screen. Like, she's just a ginormous star. Like, yeah, it was just, and of course, like, Salman is like baby Salman, and baby Salman was just charming as hell.
Yeah.
And you just see like why he became the Salman Khan. And yeah, it was just a trip down memory lane.
Sujoy?
I don't remember watching this movie at all.
Wow.
Like, everything was a surprise to
No
me.
way.
I think I have like watched snippets of it whenever it came on Z Cinema and whatever, but I've never watched it in completion from the start to the finish. My whole nostalgic memory went on overdrive when I heard the songs, like especially "Kabhi Tu Chaliya Lagta Hai" and "Linking Road Kabhi Carter Road." Those two songs are like on my Antakshari playlist. Whenever "Kabhi Tu Chaliya Lagta" is the K song for me. It's such a milestone in like Bollywood pop culture. This movie, especially with Vinod Mehra in it, and like the dialogues by Salim Khan are just top notch. Like, and the placement of these, I think I struggled a bit when I was, because it's 2024 and it's different how Bollywood movies are now. The whole syntax and the grammar of how people speak. But once I got on board with the 90s aesthetic of it, it was such a joyride for me. I thoroughly enjoyed it. And as you said, like, Raveena is such a what was her nickname, like Ravishing Raveena or something, before
Ravishing
the Must thing
Raveena.
came. Yeah, that.
You gotta roll the R's, right? The R's.
You sound like Jeevan. Ravishing Raveena.
And I think we all watch this on Amazon Prime, right? I think.
No, I watched
No.
it on YouTube.
Oh
Yeah,
God.
yeah.
Okay, guys, the Amazon print. No, even the YouTube print. It is so crystal clear. I don't think I saw this movie this clear in the 90s than I'm seeing it now. It is so, and it's weird because I think a lot of times I was watching this movie and I was thinking, in the 90s movies, they kind of seem cheap the way they were shot, and the film cinematography isn't great and stuff like that. But when you actually see it in this quality, it's beautiful. Like, it's really well shot, well lit, and it never came through. It never came through when I watched it in the original prints. And I watched this movie a lot, but seeing it now, I'm like, oh, now I get the choices they were making, and this is actually a really competently made, well crafted movie, which I almost thought it was kind of like a B grade schlocky movie. That's what I had in my memory, but I don't think it is. I want to talk first of all a little bit about Salim Khan, and especially with Salim Javed. Like, they were the writing duo that created these massive movies, The Angry Young Man and stuff like that, and then they split up. And watching this movie, it really reminded me that I would say like Javed Akhtar is maybe the rebel against the establishment, right? And Salim is more the fighting macho kind of, like fighting, like physically fighting the system kind of guy, right? And it's just funny that when you put those two things together, you get the Angry Young Man, you get the Amitabh, which had physical fighting against the system and the moral fight against the system. And then when they split up, the combination was stronger than the parts. And I think here you can see, because the second part, when Salman becomes the cop, he's basically doing a Zanjeer Amitabh voice and a Zanjeer cosplay. And it's funny because he doesn't have the physicality for it. It's too early in his career to play a cop. And it's also just weird that a cop comes into a villain's den and he's talking about my daddy getting killed, like these are like, this is not the tough cop kind of thing, but it still works because Salim Khan is still such a good writer, right? Like, and But the other thing I was thinking also about is like in the last few years, he's become this script doctor, kind of script mentor. Like Salman will say, "Oh, I showed the script to Salim Khan, and then he said make these changes or this and that." And but still, like this movie is weirdly made. Like there's a lot of choices that are made that I'm like, wow, that's like especially the entry of the villains, like the bad villain, like the guy that killed Salman's dad, Ram Gupti, I think
Goga
he's
Kapoor.
called, or something like that. uh,
Oh yeah,
uh,
his biological dad.
yeah, and it's like these weird choices. Like, if you are such a great script doctor, why is that element like so janky when you're making that movie? And that's where my thought process of this is kind of a B-grade action movie was like a lot of these choices are very, very janky. But I wonder if maybe it's the
Yeah.
director or the producers that just says, we need 17,000 songs in this movie. Now fit a story around it. So I don't know. I don't know what do you guys think about it?
That was definitely the 90s aesthetic though, like this is somehow better than most of the 90s movies because of the people that are involved in it. But if you take away Salim Khan, Salman Khan and Raveena from it, it becomes part of that huge VHS era of movies where everybody merges into everything. Like the police commissioner, when he hands over the file to Vinod Mehra, he's naming out the Nami people of Mumbai, and they all sound like the same people. He says, Balraj Khanna, and then all the industrialist names, and then he says, Vagera Vagera.
Forget it. Yeah.
These are the gangsters.
Yeah.
Vagera Vagera. It's just like hilarious.
I think Salim Khan, I think there is something to what you're saying, Asim. Like, I think Salim Khan works well as a script doctor because he understands pacing. Like, this movie is very, like, the pacing of the film, like the setups and the transitions might be janky, but the pacing of the film is pretty much on point. Like, you can see that there's the first act, the second act, the third act. Like, you can see how it flows into each of them. It never loses its internal logic. So that way I can see what it is. But the reason why the Salim Javed films were life changing for Hindi cinema is because they married the best of both Javed Akhtar and Salim Khan. Javed Akhtar brought in a sort of political sensibility. So it wasn't just, when you talk about the angry young man, sure, it was Amitabh beating up the bad guys, and that was very pleasurable. But it was also his fight against something larger and for a larger cause, without missing out on the fact that this is a man who is going to pay a very personal cost for those ideals. And that sort of really played into Indian society at that time, because we were just like, what, 25 years moved from the independence struggle. And the whole idea of people paying personally for the larger good was something that the Indian public really resonated to. So I think that way, like when Salim Javed split, I think that is where they sort of lost each other, and that's where their work suffered. Like you said, the sum of the parts was definitely greater than the parts themselves.
And I think what Patthar Ke Phool also just kind of misses is a bit of poetry, like a bit of softness in the way it's approaching its message. And that's really what
There's so much poetry though.
in the songs, right? But yeah.
No. In the dialogues, like
dialogue?
freaking hell. मौत से क्या डरना, उसे तो आना है, 2 दिन की जिंदगी, हमें अपना फर्ज निभाना
Yeah,
है.
but that's the song. That's literally he's reciting the song, right? But yeah, let's get into the movie. Like, this was a massive hit. Let's not underplay how big of a hit this was, and
yeah.
a big part of it was the music. I sent you guys a little Lehre video of
Yeah. The music
launch, and it's like a totally different era. This movie, right? It's really physically.
Ramesh Taurani is like, this is a brand new concept that we have brought it to Mumbai. It's called Music Launch. We're gonna launch the music cassettes, and Salman's gonna be there at the event, and he's gonna be signing autographs. And it's like people going nuts at Gaiety and Maratha Mandir. It's such a like throwback, man. It's so good.
And
so
Salman is like, तेरे को पैसे दिए तू sign करता रहे बस. Like, he's like just signing like 70,000 autograph, and like बिचारे like they're like standing in a line, and they just
and he's signing with a pilot pen. It's
and the thing is, the people don't even get to meet Salman. They just stand in a queue and they give like a card that's signed by Salman. They put it in their cassette and they go. They've been waiting for 7 hours for this nonsense, you know. But yeah, so it launched. It was Salman's third or fourth movie. It was Raveena's first movie. This is like her first main movie. It also launched a grand history of roller skating in Indian movies that then got continued in Dhoom 2 and Lafange Parinde.
Excuse me.
Aagale lag ja.
Exactly. I will not stand for this Aagale lag ja erasure.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Like, did Shashi fight off the villains on roller skates for this kind of slander? I think not.
Weren't you slating Aag Gale Lag Ja yourself 3 episodes ago? Like,
Never.
Okay, I have not watched this movie, and it's not important to me. This would
Wow.
Salman Khan.
Wow, Asim Bernie.
Salman Khan walks into this movie with so many tassels. So many tassels he's wearing. It surpasses anything Shashi Kapoor could do. Just a tassel alone.
But I will ignore that for the time being to just point out that Salman walks into the first time that we see Salman in this film, he's wearing a friend cap.
Yeah. Just so you do not know where you know this actor from. You know, that is the time where we have to reconnect. ये वाला वही बंदा है जो उस वाली movie में था, you know, like, because he's new, you know. Yeah. Also, this movie starts, by the way. I'm like, wow, like, what a theme song. Like, and then I was like, wait, this sounds familiar to me. So I Shazammed where the credits. Basically, they stole Jerry Goldsmith's score from Total Recall. It's called The Dreams. I was like, wait, I know this. So they just...
Which is why it is completely silent when the credits are playing on YouTube.
Right. See, that's why you need to watch it on Prime, because they've literally stolen Jerry Goldsmith's team. And there's also plot points that are completely lifted from The Godfather, you know, like, so there's like blatant, plagiarism.
I mean, there's the Knight Rider theme as well. Right?
Yeah. I know. So I want to ask you, because Amrit, I want to ask you about this, because I don't know any of his movies. Vinod Mehra, what is he about?
Honestly, I've watched so many Vinod Mehra movies and I couldn't tell you. I have no idea why he was a big deal, but he was a huge deal in the 70s. I didn't even remember that he was in this film. So when he showed up, I was just like, oh, like, I didn't know that he was in this film. I have no idea. But he was very versatile. Like, he was sort of like a upscale version of Amol Palekar, I feel. Like, that's how I would describe it.
For me, he was interchangeable with that Sachin guy that was in Satya Pe Satta, you know? Like, those guys were interchangeable. And funny enough, Vinod Mehra passed away and he couldn't do the dubbing for this movie. And Sachin actually did the dubbing for him. So it's not even his voice. I went deep, yo. I got you Goldsmith themes and I got you the dubbing voice here. Sujoy, what do you think of Vinod Mehra?
This is a different Sachin did the dubbing. It's Sachin Kherekar who did that, not Sachin Pilgaonkar.
Sachin Khelkar played what do you call it?
Bose.
Bose in. Do you remember?
I think I know who he
Or
is. Yeah.
yeah. He plays like the dad and stuff like that.
Okay.
Sachin Pilgaonkar is the Satya Pe Satta guy.
Oh yeah, but him and Vinod Mehra, they always have that.
Asim doesn't believe. That's the joy. He's like, is it really though?
I care as much as Shashi Kapoor roller skating. It's like on the same level.
Okay.
But I'm saying
This is the real India Pakistan.
this will create the next war.
I mean, we live in a post-truth world, so it's fine. Yeah.
But they had this interchangeable soft boy image, Vinod Mehra. So it was very odd for me for him to be playing like this badass cop, and it's also very weird because they have also this Munna Bhai type of comedy setup where like one of the cops is playing the tortured cop,
Yeah.
like ye bahut marta, ye bahut marta. It's like, look at Vinod Mehra's face, like he's not marrowing anything.
It's really funny because the humor in this movie is not very funny, but what is funny is that you can see directly where Salman and his brothers got their sense of humor from because it is the same, like, like terrible level of humor that you will see in like a Sohail Khan film. It's things where you're just like, ye joke tha, ha 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 ha, and you're like, oh, I see.
I was
Like
laughing.
jokes.
Of course you were.
Azim was taking notes. Good dad joke.
I must reuse this. There have been many tragedies through the history of our humanity. None as big as Salman Khan losing that beautiful, beautiful hair.
He even had hair like on his torso in this film. Like that is a level of hairiness that Salman has not experienced in 25 years.
Like, it's like he had like 3 different mangs like in one shot. Like it would start in the middle, then it would be on the side, and then the fight scene would be in the other. I was like, wow, all of them are beautiful. It's just beauty. And then you have Raveena's beautiful hair, which is like almost as good as like Dimple Kapadia's hair, right? Like that level of good hair, right? And then in their Meet Cute, his hair and her hair is just tangled together. It's like the Avengers of beautiful hair.
That is probably my favorite shot of Salman in this film because it literally. So the gag is that they meet, they have the dream
On the bus.
sequence, which is Kabhi Tu Chaliya Lagta Hai, and then Raveena passes out on his shoulder, and then they wake up in the morning and
Salman
Salman has her hair caught in his teeth for some reason, and it is such a proto Salman move, and I'm just like, okay, I see it. I see the vision that became like Salman 2.0.
Yeah. He's so annoying yet so charming in this movie. I don't know how you balance that out, because I will say, I will be honest, I have tried some of these techniques that Salman tried on Raveena back in my days when I used to have hair.
I'm just imagining Asim like chewing on his wife's
No, this
hair and expecting
is
that-
way before my wife. This is like Belgian era. Like this is like teen Asim, like six-pack Asim.
This is probably why Asim had to like move to a different country to
Yes.
find a wife. Like, if that's what
These
he's
techniques
trying
do
to
not
tell
work.
you.
I just have to tell people that are now revisiting Patthar Ke Phool, these techniques will not work unless you are Salman Khan. And I don't think they even work now for Salman Khan. You have to go Salman Khan, early 20s Salman Khan, it's a thing. And then we there's also this father feud going on, right, between the two fathers, and it's almost like this philosophical debate on how society works and things like that, And it's funny because they're still very respectful of each other. So Vinod Mehra will still call the villain Balraj Sahib. It's like he's your foe, he's your villain, but that's still how he addresses him. And everything Vinod Mehra does, he will come into the villain's house and tell him what he's about to do, and then they'll have a whole debate about it. And I think all of those shots were done at the same, all of the scenes were shot at the same time. So he's just like leaving the garden, then coming back into the garden, leaving the garden, coming back into the garden. One more thing, Columbo style. Villain guy, who is he played with by? Who's the
Goga Kapoor.
No, the Raveena's dad, I mean.
Oh, Miss
Oh,
Raveena.
he's one of those guys. Like if you see him, you know who he is. Can't remember his name.
Yeah.
Manohar Singh.
Yeah.
Huh.
And so he's the head.
But that way.
So he's the head of this cartel, right?
I thought that was like a very like realistic sort of like it's a crime syndicate, but it has a very corporate structure.
Yes.
It is like
And
you.
they keep reminding, हमने ये group बनाया है.
He pronounces it exactly like Farhan Akhtar does in Zindagi Na Dubai. ये group की नाक कटवा दी, it's that group. Yeah.
हमने ये group बनाया है.
But it's like, like he's like, well, we elected me to make the decisions, and I have decided that we are criminals, but we are not Deshdrohis. Like, therefore, if you want to do like Deshdrohi stuff, then I will say no.
I draw
and
the
I will
line
not
at
let
drugs.
you.
Yeah.
I draw
Yes.
the line at drugs.
Not like that.
What's allowed is smuggling. They're very big on smuggling, but we're not going to do drugs. And if you sell drugs,
And he's like, if we do smuggling and stuff, it will affect the government. That is okay.
That is okay.
He's like, I'm anti-establishment.
Yeah.
I'm not anti-people.
But I'm not anti-youth. I think that's what he specifically says, which I feel is such a Salim Khan move. That is like exactly what this angry young man thing was about. And I like that the villain is like, this group will not sell drugs, and if it sells drugs, I'm going to the cop and I'm naming all of you motherfuckers. Like he's just like, what? Like, it's like, leave the country or I'm naming all of you. It's like, wow, that is almost like a Trump.
He's also like he's also giving them heads up, like, are you with me or are you gonna leave now?
Yeah, because he has that conscious moment where his daughter is like, I'm just gonna go and become a prostitute, Papa. And then he's like, wait, whoa, people. By the way, it's funny.
I'm just like, and the daughter is like, oh, good to know you still have morals.
Yeah.
I
got you. Prostitution fake out. And I was like, this is funny because both Salman and Raveena are like, okay, I'm leaving the house, and they go away with their attache case. And I was like, where are these people leaving to? What job prospects do they have? What kind of what skill set do they bring to the market? But I do love the villain group, and so Goga Kapoor is the guy that's gonna sell them out straight away. But in the background we also have Iftikhar, and he gets no lines. I was like, what the hell, Iftikhar? Like, what happened? Like, poor guy.
Did he die during this?
No. He was still making movies for a while after this. So it was like, he got no lines. Like, weird. Maybe it was like he was struggling at that time already, and like maybe they gave him a little cameo. I just felt sad about it, to be honest. Yeah. So Joy, what were you going to say?
have completely lost my train of thought. Continue.
Let's talk a bit about, did we talk about Raveena a little bit, or did you anything else you wanted to say?
Let's talk. Let's talk about Raveena.
I think at that time she was so drop dead gorgeous. Like, it's like Cindy Crawford gorgeous, like that level of like supermodel gorgeousness. And funny enough, I was watching her here and I was weirdly thinking of Sonam Kapoor. I was like, both of them, like what you were saying, Amrita, they're very raw, right? Like they're not like the actresses that they became, but they're both drop dead gorgeous. But I feel Sonam never really evolved her skill as much as Raveena did. I feel like, and I think a lot of it is maybe that they got to do so many movies together. And I gotta say, I wasn't like this. Raveena was not. I was not like the hugest fan of Raveena. There was not. I didn't have Raveena posters on my wall, But like, it's done undeniable the star power both of these two have, right?
I don't think I've ever put like Raveena and Sonam in the same group, like ever. But I think also Raveena was drama
Yeah.
in a way that none of the new generation girlies can even fathom being. I mean, not just Raveena, but like Manisha, even Kajol, like they were all like so drama. Like there was a solid like 3 to 4 year period when all you ever saw was film magazine after film magazine about Raveena's personal life.
Yeah.
And whether
like Akshay Kumar is somewhere there, right?
Ajay Devgan,
I mean,
Ajay Devgan is in
Ajay
there.
Devgan.
Akshay is in there, and there were like a 4 or 5 names that were just like constantly like,
Sunny.
yeah.
Do you remember like
Yeah.
Sunny? Like it was just insane. And also like she was never like one of these and I think the 90s was also different from the 80s in that none of these girls were particularly shy and reticent
There was a
about their
modernism that had
lives.
come in, like just in terms of
Yeah.
how you're presenting yourself. And I think she was a bit
Yeah.
earlier, but then Pooja Bhatt, Pooja Vedi, those took it a step further. But it was already the start of this, right? People were a lot more
I think
opinionated and open.
a lot of that has also to do for them being second generation film people, right? Raveena Tandon is the daughter of Ravi Tandon, and then Pooja Bhatt, obviously daughter of Mahesh Bhatt, and Kajol, daughter of Tanuja, and on the whole,
Shobha Mukherjee.
Mukherjee family. So yeah.
When nepotism was good, basically.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, they were all just, and then you see Raveena on screen, and it's not like she's like the greatest actress or something, but you can see the raw talent. She's not just posing, she's not trying to be an influencer. I think like that's basically what tripped up all the new generation girlies, the need to become influencers. Whereas like back then it was just like, they were actresses. That's what they came to do.
Yeah.
It wasn't a pathway to another life. They weren't building a plan for their retirement. They were like, no, this is the plan. Like, I am going to be a heroine, and then I'm gonna like marry well and like live my rich life,
Yeah.
And you can see the difference in the lives and the careers that these women had, and the way that we still think about them versus, people will be thinking about, say, Janvi and Co. 20 years from now.
And also,
I mean, you when you see on like social media and stuff, people are still mimicking scenes from the movies from the 90s with Raveena, Karishma, Manisha, Kajol, and all of this. Nobody's like doing lip syncs or enacting scenes out of the recent slot of movies, right? But I guess that's got more to do with 90s nostalgia than any of these movies that are released today being sort of milestones of pop culture. Maybe like in a decade or so, we will be seeing people quoting Ranveer as Rocky Randhawa or whatever.
Yeah. And also, it was very well known that Salman and Raveena did not get along during the making of this movie. Like, there's still interviews now about Raveena talking about it. Like, Salman was basically, I'm never working with you again. And then they immediately did Andaz Apna Apna after that. So it's not that they had a choice. Plus, they were walking. Maybe also because they were working in like 8 movies at a time, and they just got confused, like, which one was he? And like, yeah.
Ayla, tu kaun hai?
Exactly.
One of the famous feuds that I found on IMDb is Vivek Vaswani, who is also in this movie. He had a major media war with Salman Khan and Salim Khan, and says Salim Khan said Vaswani did not even have 100 rupees in his pocket when he met him. It was he who introduced Vaswani to GP Sippy. Vivek Vaswani said this was a lie because he was friends with GP Sippy's nephew Vijay. Plus, he said he paid Salim Khan in advance to write the script, and Salim took the money and for several months did not do anything. Salim Khan blamed stress as the reason, stating Helen just sold her apartment. This is so much history, guys. Vaswani then claimed he let Helen live a full long year in a flat he owned for free.
Oh my God.
Vaswani then went on to add Salman Khan cheated him. He would say he was tired and leave early only to go and shoot for his friend Bubby Kent's Kurban.
Kurban. Ah, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So much film history.
Oh, so I did wonder, since this movie came out in 91, and then like I know Vaswani helped launch Shah Rukh 1 year later. Like I wonder like what kind of politics was involved in Vaswani wanting to do that, you know?
Yeah. Oh yeah, because Sippy is also involved
GP
in
Sippy.
this, right?
GP Sippy, GP Sippy was one of the first people that Vaswani took Shah Rukh to get signed.
Wow.
And yeah, so that was like a whole thing. But also like Salim Khan, after Salim Javed split up, like he wasn't in the best financial condition until Salman, became like a runaway success. We all make jokes about like Salman basically shouldering, his entire Panoti family, but it's true.
Yeah.
Like Salman basically just rescued his entire family, and I don't think they even give him enough credit for it. They basically just the way they talk about him is just like, theek hai, like the donkey is here, like he's a good reliable donkey. Like I'm just like, what is wrong with you people?
Yeah. I think we need to talk now about the music of this movie.
Yeah.
There are so many songs in this movie, and I love literally every one of them so much. Like I love this soundtrack. It's done. It was composed by Ram Lakshman, who then went on to do, Hum Aapke Hain Kaun and Hum Saath Saath Hai. And it was two people. It was basically two people. One of them died, and then the other guy just took their name and continued with it. So that is so hilarious.
Just for the vibes. Just for the vibes.
Do you want to go through every? The thing is also with these songs, it's like they're not just songs, they also tell the story of the movie. They do actually propel the story of the movie, right? So it's very hard to just say, oh, what's your favorite song, and talk about it. We basically have to go through song by song in a way, because it's literally the part of the story. But we have to start with Kabhi To Chaliya Lagta Hai, right? Like it's like such a good song, such a banger. SP Bala, supremacy, I liked it because it's also kind of that predecessor where it they use this formula again in Wo Ladki Hai Kahan, in Dil Chahta Hai, and in that Phir Milenge Chalte Chalte from Rab Ne Bana Di Jodi, right? But this was the proto version of that song, and they take it even a step. Oh no, I guess they did it in Phir Milenge Chalte Chalte, where all of the lyrics are titles of movies, right? I'm just saying
it's
that
also
because
there in Ek Duche Ke Liye as well, in Mere Jeevan Sathi Pyar Kiye Ja, in the lift with Kamal Hassan and Rati.
Oh wow, okay, I didn't know that.
Asim is like, that's a movie.
Yeah, I literally never heard of this movie.
You've never heard of Ek Duje Ke Liye?
Is that the one with the short Kamal Hassan and the long Kamal Hassan?
No, that's Apu. That's Apu Raja.
I know. Yeah. I play with you. I mean, yeah. Did you have? What do you think of that song? It's still a classic, right?
Yeah, it's a as you said, educational, right?
I'm trying to
The way
segue.
Asim was asking, that question is like, you better say it's a classic. Like, don't even think about having an argument about this right now.
There's no criticism accepted of this movie. We're not.
Yeah.
Everything's fun and games, and oh, we are all adults here until we come up again.
Guys,
Like,
I've had to yell Tiger 3, Kabhi Kisi Ka Bhai, Kisi Ki Jaan, Antim. Like, let me have this, guy. Let me have Patthar Ke Phool. Oh, God. And then, we have the amazing skating song, which, that...
wait, can I just say? Can I just say about the Chalia song? I also really appreciate the way it was choreographed, and it was by Chinni Prakash, who usually, he just does like really shady dances.
He
Like,
was
that's
known
what
for the sex.
the sax sucks. But in this one, like, it was just like really, really well done. The costume changes, especially. There were times when I would just like laugh out loud when Salman was having his Ken moment, where he just like spin around wearing like whatever the new outfit was. It was so good. And also Raveena in a sari, like a simple sari, looks better than like 90% of the people wearing couture.
Yeah.
Like, I cannot explain just how good
And
she
that's
looks in
her
that
playing
song.
Nargis, right?
Yeah.
So
And how
It's just her with her
probably
hair in
like
a braid.
not even 20 at that time, right? When she was doing this, like she
Yeah.
was super young
Yeah.
and she pulls it off. Like, can you see like that young a girl now pulling off a sari in that way, like, and like rain drenched and like cold and like still rocking it? It's bloody amazing.
one piece of like mini, like obviously Salman is dressing up as all of these people, like leader and loafer, and then when he comes as hero, he's Jackie Shroff with the flute. It's so like I clapped, man.
Yeah.
It was so much fun.
There's also one where he's like Azad and he's like flexing his biceps. And I was
Yeah.
like, dude, like, whoa, like it's already there. Like muscle dekh, muscle ke rakh dunga.
Okay.
So yeah, second song is the Tumse Milke Jo Pyar Hua. I love this song because back in the day, you obviously heard the song, but here when you watch it, they are also holding up the signs of the names that SP Bala is pronouncing, because it's very hard for me to understand, is it Parlor Road or is it Powder Road? Is it Powder Road? And it's very hard because that's SP Bala does what SP Bala does, he'll just speak it in his way. But I appreciate the fact that Salman is holding, like, it's Lincoln Road, guys. Lincoln, not... What's Gobardhan Road? Like, what is that? Like, Gobardhan Road? Like, Golbardhan Road? What is this? I don't know.
I have no idea.
I do wonder if like people who live in Bombay look at that song and they're just like, wow, so the construction in these roads have been going on since then, because like I feel like there are like certain roads where it was under construction then and is under construction now. Like every time I go to Bombay, like some road or the other is always under construction. So I do wonder what it must feel like to be from Bombay and like watch these.
Also, this song continues the tradition of the Khans being unbelievably reckless when it comes to stunts. Salman is literally hanging on a car with roller skates, and then he climbs on top of the car, and then he's roller skating on the front of the car. Like, it's insane. Like, people just allowed them to do these things.
Yeah.
They just did it.
Why were we all so obsessed with roller skates around that time? Because like I remember, like I was like little, but I remember like all my little friends and I around that same time, we were all just like really big on skating for some reason.
Yeah. I was so good at skating. I was literally so good, guys. You cannot believe how good of a roller skater I was. Like, I loved it. I used to do all of the flips and the jumps and the grinds and stuff like that. I loved roller skating so much. I don't know. I think I grew up on the Belgian coast, and we have amazing spots. It's like all flat, and basically the Belgian coast is like the whole coast from one town to the other town. You could basically walk it, like it's just straight and flat. And it's like they have money from infrastructure, so the roads were really good. So it was like roller skating paradise. We roller skating and skateboarding a couple of years later, and then roller blades. So all of them have been huge where I grew up. So yeah, I loved it. But yeah, I don't know how you guys did it in India. Like, how was it easy to roller skate?
Well, I lived in a gated community, so it
Of
was
course you did.
easy. Like,
Of
they had
course you
like
did.
really nice.
So Joy, तू क्या करता था?
I used to see the high and mighty of Silchar town, the kids who used to go for tennis club coaching. After the tennis club coaching, there used to be the roller skates, and you used to look from outside. Like, अच्छा, अमीर लोग करते होंगे.
So funny. अभी लोग अमृता जो है वहां से अमृता
This is some model college, Rajput college shit.
Exactly. I am very pajama chap that way.
Oh god. So then the next song that came out was Din Dinak Dinda, which is proof that a song can be randomly dropped into a movie with no bearing
Yeah.
to the story, and if it's a good song, it works. When the leads look
Yeah.
so hot together that they can literally wear matching Zomato delivery outfits and look good. And they even fit in, like, all of that is already, I'm sold, but then they also add lambada in there. It's like,
Yeah. Is this SL World, Amrita?
Yeah. Oh my god. Yes.
so many songs have been
Oh.
shot there, huh? No?
Yeah.
No. It's a good song.
Yeah.
It was one of those songs that I had forgotten. Like, I didn't know that this was in there,
Yeah.
but the moment
I think, these are the top 3 songs for me. The rest are like sort of forgotten completely. But like Kabhi Tu Chaliya, Tumse Milke Jo Pyar Hua, and Din Dinak Dinna. Oh, so good.
so good. And then we have to talk about this one. It's just the weirdest party in my life that I've seen is Yaar Pe Dil Kurban. It's like,
Oh God.
so
ये एक पार्टी तो तुम नौजवानों
no,
की है.
Jawano ki hai. And it's all uncles in the background. Like, where are the Naujawans?
Yeah.
That's what I want to hear. And it is like, so
And the chairs have bulbs.
yeah. So like, I love a party song, right? Like, just generally we all do, especially when a lot of it is being said without things being said, you know. But this also has like a weird eyes wide shut kind of situation going on, where all the
But at the same time, there's like colorful ribbons and balloons hanging. Like, who's doing the decor of this Eyes Wide Shut party?
and there's chair dancing, there's violins in there, the masks come off, then they get back on, the dancing is weirdly sexual at certain places, and
It's Chinni Prakash, I'm telling you.
yeah, and
I'm telling you, they watched like, Feroz Khan movies and they were like, that's a party.
Yeah.
Like, that's what we need. And then they just couldn't commit that much because like nobody does Feroz Khan better than Feroz Khan.
but I also think, like, I think this is a song for the dancers. Like, these are probably background artists and background dancers, and they get to be on the forefront. And usually, what would happen is that dream sequence, and then Salman and Raveena would be there, and then they would take the lead. Here, this doesn't happen. It's just the dancers that are doing it. And I thought it was really cool that they got to shine a little bit, although they have to wear masks because they're probably not as good looking as Salman and Raveena are. So that's why they're probably the mask were. They're just regular random people. But I think they can really like show their skill set without it being break dancing or, like a specific kind of like modern dance, but it's just like desi dancing. And it's really, really fun. It's really like high energy, kinetic. and Salman is just taking the time to get sloshed at that moment. He's just like downing one shot after the other, when it didn't take a lot of convincing for him to start drinking, like this. Yeah.
And then he gets home and his mom and dad are like, "Tumne sharab pi hai aaj?
Yeah.
Tum sharab pi ke aaye ho?"
And then he has the face off with Vinod Mehra too, right? Like about morals and how
it's like, well, yeah, I gotta say now when I'm drunk, because tomorrow I'm not gonna be able to say.
Yeah. And then also Rima Lago, who we haven't talked about at all. That is the other magic of this movie, that we have Salman and Rima Lago, mother and son, the way things are supposed to be.
Okay.
And she basically pulls a Raja Babu on him, right? Like, you're not even Vinod Mehra's son, right? Like,
Spoilers.
And then there's a lot of like, the rest of the songs are very like angry, skating and emotional songs that come up.
Oh my God. Salman gets Sridevi's Dance of Thunder.
It is
on the roller skates.
Did you guys used to watch Flight of the Conchords?
Yeah, a long time ago.
There was one where it's like Brett's angry dance. You have to, like, I'll try to add it. It really reminded me of that, he's just like full of anger and emotion, and Piche say like Raveena, like it's just like amazing, hair flowing everywhere. It is like every song now is a montage, the Aaja Re Aa, Maut Se Kya Darna, Sun Dilruba, Dil Ki Sada. They're all montages, one after the other. And even Sajna Tere Bin Kya Jeena, like all of them are like just these very emotional songs, and like dramatic lighting and like hair fans and stuff like that. And it's all amazing. Also, I just like that, like the which one is it? The Aaja Re Aa is Lata solo, right? It's basically just her singing it. And again, that's the thing that doesn't happen that much anymore. Like a solo song by one female singer. It's something that's kind of almost gone out of vogue. You only get like 2 lines in a Arijit song now. So that was kind of cool too, of that era, what were your kind of like standout song? Is it the big popular ones, or any of these other ones that you kind of like? Yeah.
No, the top 2 are definitely like Chalia and Linking Road.
Yeah.
Like those are my 2 top favorites.
I legit like Maut Se Kya Darna, guys. It's on my
it's your gym song now.
It's my gym song. Has been my gym song for many years. But I changed it. I was like, deadlift se kya darna, usko to aana hai. That's how I do.
हमें अपना फर्ज
Yeah, exactly. That's
put on some more weight.
Yeah, और लगा extra plate. I really love all of them. Like even the ones that I'd forgotten, I really love these songs. I'm really gonna get the album again and start listening to it again. But it's crazy. Like after 30 years, the movie still stands up. It still works. It's still funny at the spaces it's supposed to be funny. I think the second half, the whole action probably could have been better. Like there's no great action in it, and then you also have the Kiran Kumar thing happening on the sidelines, and then you have Gajni getting killed by Karga. All of these things are happening too. Like how is Gajni Salman's dad? It does make no sense. But chalo, I think the first half is probably better, and things get a bit muddy.
I think I laughed the most in one scene where Vinod Mehra visits Balraj Saab's house, and he clearly, the shot follows him, and he's got a cigarette in his mouth, and as soon as Balraj Saab offers him a lighter, he says, "Maine cigarette peena chhod diya."
My favorite was actually when Salman has now become a policeman, and he comes to Balraj Khanna and he goes like, "Ab आप ही मेरे बुजुर्ग हो और मैं आपका आशीर्वाद चाहता हूँ." And this guy is just like, how am I going to give you the ashirwad when like I am the guy that you're going to send to prison?
And Salman is like insistent.
Salman is like, आशीर्वाद बिना तो मैं जाऊंगा ही नहीं. And And then this guy, they just have this awkward stare off, and then he's like, you always have my Ashirwad.
But
What's he gonna say?
it goes to the people were really like, authentic about their Ashirwad. Like it had meaning back then in the 90s, like now it's just Ashirwad left and right. It's on the atta, like it doesn't matter anymore. It's been commoditized. In the 90s, it had value, people.
It's funny though, because this is the same guy. When here he's negotiating like, I demand your Ashirwad, and then in Andaz Apna Apna he's like a chicken shit in front of Bajaj uncle, and he's like, ek sawal do jawab. Sawal jawab.
I also just like that, Karga comes back and he's like, Ram Singh Gupti hai mera naam. He's like, I remember Ram Singh Gupti from 40 minutes ago when you told us that he killed Gajni, like, it's like...
Freaking hell. He was like, chota sa role mila hai, lekin yaad karo.
Yeah. You will remember my name.
And then this Kiran Kumar as Khan Chacha. Like, what does Khan Chacha have to do with anything? Khan Chacha is just there. Like, absolutely useless.
Yeah, but he's like a very kind of moral Pathan kind of thing where he's like, you're not going to kill Salman because our beti loves this guy, like he puts that to Goga Kapoor. And Goga Kapoor is just not feeling the vibes, man. Goga Kapoor is, I'm out. I'm going to start selling drugs, y'all. Let's coke this bitch up.
Let's have a party. What Bombay needs in Linking Road and Cattle Road is a coked up party.
Let's Scarface this bitch.
And Balraj Khanna is a bitch.
Yeah, exactly. Goga Kapoor ain't having none of that. Bring in Ram Singh Gupti. Let's get rid of these people,
We should do a total rewrite of Patthar Ke Phool just like that. And
how can we improve? Are we the writers of Crack, Sujoy? How can we improve Patthar Ke Phool?
oh man,
good.
really hurts.
See, this is good. We should be in our zone. We should talk about these movies instead of like, Fighter. Like that brings nobody any joy. This brings so much joy. We're happy. You're happy. Everybody's happy. Let's do more of these. Amrita, where can people find you online?
You can find me on Twitter and Blue Sky at Amrita IQ.
Sujoy?
You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at 93K. And you can also follow Khandaan Podcast on all our socials at Khandaan Podcast.
You can find me on the skating rink on Lincoln Road. Otherwise, you can drop us an email at youpodcasting@gmail.com. Sign up to Patreon from $1 and support our work. And thank you for listening. We'll be back with a new episode very soon.
Khandaan